Hello, everybody. Game. Today, in deck number 537, we're going to talk about Anax Hardened in the Forge. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is a 3-mana star 3 demigod. His power is equal to your devotion to red. So let's pump up that number and get it huge. Whenever an action or another non-token creature you control dies, you get a Satyr token. It can't block. If it had power 4, you create 2 of these. I'll be honest with you. We might get some random satyrs here and there, but I built the deck based on the first line, not the second ability, So, let's go through it, shall we? So, I started off, I ended up in a way different place than where I started off at. So, let me tell you where I started off at. I started off with devotion. I want to pump up this and make him absolutely insane to win with commander damage. So, obviously, the Rogue's Passage is in there. And I thought, well, I've got to have some red mana symbols, some red pips on the board. So it's me, the very first place my mind went was to the old walls. Wall of lava, wall of fire, wall of stone. They're good blockers. They come down early, hold off a lot of things, and you know what? They add red pips. So, other things, enchantment wise, I was like, okay, aspect of the Manticore. It's +2. It has flash. It's going to grant him double strike when it comes out. Granite grip. +1 for each mountain. That's awesome. Claws of Valakut. Now, these double duty here because they have their ability. I mean, +1 for each mountain and first strike is awesome, but it also gets, 2 more power because of the mana cost. Same way with Giant Strength. We're just a thunderous might. What, it gets +X, where X is your devotion red. So devotion squared. Anybody? I felt like I had to do the Triumph of Anax, it's named after him. Shiv's Embrace, flying, +2 fire breathing. Yeah, we are getting in there. Destructive Force may be a little iffy. It does give him +2 to the power. It also, could possibly deal with some that ramp player who's way ahead of everybody else. Gratuitous Violence, just double that damage. Dictate of the Twin Gods, doubling damage again. Now, this is a little more risky, and, why not? Let's go all the way in and do Furnace of Wrath. Okay? Sulfuric Vortex, to eliminate that life gain. Let's look at some creatures. The Mox Monkey, Gorilla Shaman, great card, great permanent artifact removal. War Elemental is the beast. Whenever damage is dealt to an opponent, put that many counters on this thing in this deck can get out of hand in a hurry. Wrathy Berserker, that's right, it's just in there for the 3 red pips. Rampage is never going to trigger. Rampage 3 equals don't block me. Crimson Hellkite's good for the late game. Archetype of Aggression. I'd love to have Trample on my Giant Commander. Cyclops of Eternal Fury, giving them haste and +2. Fledgling Dragon. Now, here's one. Threshold's very easy to get, especially in this deck. Oh my gosh, we're going to peel through cards. But now I want to tell you where I started going askew at. I was looking at cards that had a lot of red mana pips. And I come across Dwarven Bloodboiler. And I was like, 3 pips. It has my attention, right? And so I was like, tap an untapped dwarf you control Target creature gets +2/+0, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. This is a dwarf. I can just tap it because it doesn't say another. I can tap it to give Anax another +2. That's sweet for a total of like +5 to his power. Off a 1/3 drop, that was amazing. And then I went down and I was like, well, Dwarven Lieutenant is also a dwarf that I can tap. Him to give, to the Blood Boiler is a dwarf. He even does a plus power thing, double costed fire breathing for other dwarves, of course. Dwarven Armor, 1 mana, 0/2, yeah. You discard a card from your hand. Now, I love the weird counters, okay? I love the weird +0/+1 or +1/+0 counters. There was a lot of weird counters back in Fallen Empires before they kind of standardized them into +1/+1 or -1/-1. So it can turn those cards you aren't using into plus counters, and this also. So here I am, and I'm like, I'm playing some dwarves. Well, and I've been looking for a home to play a certain dwarf. Seven dwarves. That's right. I'm running all seven dwarves. I named them. I was actually wanting to do like little stickers on, of the actual, Snow White's dwarves, but couldn't find the sticker, so I just wrote on there. Interesting tidbit. There is a theory going around that not everybody can remember 6 of the 7 dwarves, right? And a lot of the ones that people forget a lot are Doc and Bashful, because their names don't go with the rhyme scheme. But it seems like, in my experience, everybody forgets one of them. And I sat down and I was going to do it from memory, and I got all 7 of them, and I was writing them out. And I forgot one. And even as I was doing that, I was like, you know what? Everybody forgets one of these. And I forgot one. And I was like, really? There's 6 here. Which one am I missing? And so I had to go to the internet and pull it up. And I was like, oh, man. Now, what does it say about me that I forgot Happy? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all 7 dwarves are in here. 2 mana 2/2s. They're all dwarfs, so if we have the Blood Boiler, things get really scary. +1/+1 for each other one of them that you have. Each other creature name 7 dwarves you control. Now, I did do something kind of silly. I put a spy kit in, so I can have an 8th 7 dwarf. I can strap up something else, and it'll be named 7 dwarves, so it'll give the others +1. But, so I was like, that's a lot of dwarves. We'll do, like, the Dwarven Recruiter. So, I mean, push comes to shove. Hey, let's get my 7 dwarves. If nothing else, dwarf beatdown. Boy, that's a thing you don't hear much, do you? Rimrock Knight happens to be a dwarf. It happens to make your commander bigger in its Boulder Rush. Dwarven Armory, an enchantment. Sack a land to put a +2/+2 counter on target creature. Of course, you can only do it during your upkeep. That got me thinking. Sacrifice a land. Now, we are in mono red. There's not a whole lot of ramp here. But Land's Edge. Now, Land's Edge is the progenitor of Seismic Assault. Seismic Assault is probably better. I don't have a copy of it. But Seismic Assault it's 3 red pips, and it only does you. This is any player can choose and discard a land to deal 2 damage to a target. Oh, I'm sorry, target player. It only hits players. Now, and I know it seems really risky, but I'm betting not a lot of people do that. How? I guess this is more of a social experiment in the table because, all right, let's play Land's Edge. You can discard lands for free shocks. We're also going to play Storm Cauldron. Let's see how responsible you get now. You're going to tap lands. They're going to return to your hand to cast spells, and then you're staring at all these free shocks. Are you going to go for the insta burn and put yourself behind it in the long game? I don't know. And then that got me thinking, Barrel Down Sikenzen. Yeah, you know it's good when it's got Arcane, right? So this is an instant that you just sweep up your mountains, and Barrel Down deals damage to target creature equal to twice the number of mountains returned this way. So this gives you a chance to, if you get close to eliminating a player, sweep up your mountains. And I mean, I have done this for the win. Now, granted, it was a long time ago in Kamigawa Standard, but let's look at some normalcy here, shall we? Because all that wasn't normal. Alter the Pantheon, of course, it's an artifact that increases our devotion. Whoa. Colony Gem, also kind of doing the putting lands back in your hand thing, you know. Pristine Talisman and Heraldic Banner, pumping the power as well. Card draw in, of course, Thrill of Possibility. Love that card. Wild Guess, Cathartic Reunion, Tormenting Voice. But I want to talk about Browbeat. And yes, I love Browbeat in 2-player Magic. I do not love Browbeat in Commander. However, I thought with as much damage doubling, if you have one damage doubler, is somebody even, are they going to pay 10? Probably not. You're probably just drawing 3 cards. And even if they do 10 damage, you spent 3 mana on it. You know what I'm saying? Relentless Assault's going to get us another. I am having trouble hitting the box today. Relentless Assault's going to get us another combat step with our huge the commander. Keep in mind, if you Rogue's Passage it is unblockable until the end of turn through all your combat steps. So that's sweet. Possibility to get 2 here. But Illicit Auction, here again, this is kind of more of a silly deck. Let's see how bad they want that Blightsteel, right? Or whatever it is. Genji, oh my gosh. A red deck would pay so much life for a Genji taxes. But you bid life. I kind of like that. Who wants this? And this has somebody's paying a ton of life. Whoever wins is paying a ton of life. And that's going to put them, that much closer to losing. What we got? Scent of Cinder. Since we're, going off the beaten path and whatnot. I love that this hits creature or player, any target. It probably is any target now. You reveal red cards in your hand, which is just about all of them, except for your lands and the 3 or 4 artifacts we got. Red Elemental Blast to keep that. Y'all know why that's in there. Some burn in Lightning Strike, Fated Conflagration, Volcanic Fallout, Sundering Stroke, Storm's Wrath for removal. Now, these next few cards are a little different. Dwarven Catapult, Expel Instant. X damage dividing evenly among all of opponent's creatures. Now, it's problematic, yeah, but there was kind of a dwarf sub-theme, so I was like, well, okay, we'll use the catapult. Shattering Pulse, just good old-fashioned. If you're out of Vandal Blast like I am, Shattering Pulse is probably the next step down. But I'm getting real close to being out of Shattering Pulses, too. Burnout. Love me some Burnout. Counter target blue instant. Draw a card. That's beautiful. Cinder Cloud. There's not many red cards that say destroy target creature. Of course, if you kill a white creature, they take some damage. False Orders. Choosing blockers is, pretty good. Our last non-land card is Radiate. Now, Radiate, such a beautiful card. It's kind of wordy. Choose target instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single permanent or player. For each other permanent or player that spell could target, put a copy of the spell onto the stack. Each copy targets a different one of those permanents and players. So just simple explanation. If somebody giant growths one of their creatures, you can radiate it to every creature on the board. Doesn't seem like that's that good. A lot of take an extra turn cards say target player takes an extra turn. That's funny. A lot of card draw spells say target player draws something. Or just spot removal. If you don't have much creatures and they cast a targeted spot removal on a card, you know what? I'm going to radiate it. That's a board wipe now. Brings us to our non-basic lands. The Karu lands from Visions aren't that exceptional. I do like the fact that, after it's over and done with, you get to tap them for 2 land. But this one, in this deck, hey, it puts a mountain back in your hand. Smoldering Spires. This is kind of more for the effect than the land, Not a creature not being able to block your commander is cool. And then Teetering Peaks, pretty much the same thing, +2 to your attacker, which is probably going to be Anax. Static is real. Anyway, I had a ton of fun building the deck. I really did. It's I think this one will be fun to play. Kind of wanted to do a little bit of the fun aspect of it, mainly because just a high-powered commander damage deck can be, not fun at times, but I don't know. 7 dwarves? Come on. Anyway, that is deck number 537. It's almost done with another column there. That's pretty sweet. So that's what we've got for today. I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. Sneak peek of tomorrow. Not going to give away a name, but if you like Orzhov Gods, you might want to tune in tomorrow. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. Be sure to like, subscribe. Thank you so much. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.